we're in the kitchen with Chef Christopher Newton from Chef Christopher's Catering. Always love to have him here. We've got a really easy, delicious, and healthy recipe to share with you today. Spaghetti squash marinara. It sounds super good.
And it's in season now and everything's fresh. All the vegetables are in, so this is a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and it's a pasta alternative. So if you love pasta, this is a good way to save some calories and
carbs.
Yes,
yes. And it's so easy to do. I took this, I had a smaller one, and I threw it in the oven. I didn't do anything to it, just threw it in a pan, threw it in the oven, about 40 minutes, and pulled it out. When it comes out, it's gonna be hot.
Right.
So you gotta let it cool for quite a few minutes before you get to even mess with it.
Okay.
This is kind of cold now, but all you do is just cut it in half.
A lot of folks have never cooked with a spaghetti squash before, so you got to get used to what it looks like on the inside and how to use it.
And if you look at it, it's got some seeds in there, but if you get a spoon and just pull the seeds out.
Okay.
It comes out quite easy. There, you got all the seeds out. And then if you take a fork, pull this aside. If you take a fork, it'll just pull out like spaghetti.
That's so cool, isn't it?
It's so easy to do, see? It keeps
and you
growing.
Just get mounds and mounds of sort of spaghetti.
Yeah, and then you can put some back and do all kinds of different things with it. You saute with it. You can do all kinds of fun stuff.
Right.
And it's just a good versatile vegetable.
Could you fool kids with that?
I have. I've got a pizza recipe that I fool kids with.
Okay.
So, well, let me finish with this. What I'm going to do, I got a pan getting hot here. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there. I'm going to cut it up here a little bit. And I'm going to start out with a little bit of garlic. I say a little bit.
That's the beginning of every good recipe, isn't it?
I love garlic. And what I'm doing, I'm going to sweat some onions in there.
Okay.
And this is just I'll just toss it in dish. And what I'm doing is I've deconstructed the marinara sauce, and I'm just going to actually do it al fresco, just a little fresh. Everything's nice and fresh and green.
Okay.
And I've got a little green peppers in here.
This is smelling great already.
Oh, yeah. And I got little mushrooms. And you can leave the mushrooms out if you don't care for them. My family loves them, so.
Yeah, I do too.
And I've got some Roma tomatoes, which are really good right now. This time of year, they're really good and juicy, and they really go real well to this recipe. This is how simple this thing is. And besides that toss, add a little salt and pepper.
That toss that only chefs can do.
Oh yeah,
it always ends up all over the pan.
You can stir it with a spoon there.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I just toss it in there. And what I'm going to do on the squash is I've got it emptied out, so I'm going to put some of the squash back in here.
So you're actually using the shell of the squash as the dish.
As the vessel to hold it, right.
That's cool.
And I'll just set it aside right there.
Okay.
And while this is cooking, it won't take but a second. And this is a 15-minute dish once the squash is cooked. It's so easy. I've got a little basil that I've diced up. I'm going to pour on top of it as well. A little Parmesan.
That'll be nice. While that's cooking, you want to talk about some of the other ways we can use spaghetti
I'd love
squash?
I'd love to. Early, you was talking about the kids. When my daughter's got in school, she's got a bunch of 7th graders, and this is a way to get them to eat healthy.
Okay.
Okay. I've got a pizza squash, and what I've done is I pulled the squash and laid it out in the pan, put a little oil on it, and threw it in the oven until it got a little crispy.
Okay.
And I pulled it back out, and I pulled my sauces. This one has pepperoni and cheese.
Yeah.
And whatever else you like, and just throw it back in the oven. 5 minutes later on broil, and you got spaghetti.
So
you got
it kind
pizza.
of crisps up then.
Yes, ma'am.
You just cut it in slices and serve it.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. What a great idea. And this looks like a really fancy dish for company.
Yeah, that one's a shrimp scampi, and I just took the noodles out and used that as the base for it. It's shrimp, and it has all things, but you can use scallops. This is just such a versatile vegetable. It's fun to play with.
That's beautiful. That's what this is going to look like when you're all done. Served in the nice shell for the spaghetti squash, topping it with a little bit of, Parmesan cheese on top?
Parmesan cheese and a little basil.
Yum. That looks delicious. You've got a big bridal show coming up.
Yeah, so the 24th, it's 12 to 4. We got all kinds of vendors there, and it's an Epic Event Center, so it should be fun.
All right. Of course, Chef Chris does a lot of catering for weddings and all kinds of things.
Oh, yes,
in
ma'am.
Gallatin and all over
Nashville, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much for being with us. Can't
you.
wait to try this. It's recipe number 5472. It's available online at newschannel5.com. Be sure to look for Chef Chris over at the Sumner County Bridal Show Sunday, January 24th from noon until 4 at the Epic Event Center.